the one who loved the unseen, a story of mystery, devotion, and a heart that found light in the darkness. The sun had not yet risen over the dusty skyline of Medina, but the wind whispered something ancient into the alleys, a fragrance not of the desert, but of musk. The breeze carried something sacred that morning. To most, it felt like a cool wind, a relief from dryness. But for Qasim, it was much more. Qasim was not a man known to many. In fact, he was the kind that even neighbors forgot. A man wrapped in silence, walking through life with a stare so deep that few dared to speak to him. Yet, his eyes burned with something, a fire of yearning. And though he never spoke of it to anyone, his heart was consumed by a love so fierce, it was a miracle it hadn't consumed him entirely. He was not born in Medina, but something had pulled him here. Something beyond reason, something beyond this world. And that something was a dream. It had come years ago when Qasim was just 17, a boy burdened with the pain of a broken family, a shattered home, and the scars of society that had no room for the sensitive-hearted. That night, as he lay in his small room in Cairo, the city of 1,000 minarets, something happened. In his dream, he was standing in an open desert where the sky shimmered with a purple hue and sand danced like gold. Before him stood a figure, robed in white, veiled in light. The man did not speak, but Qasim felt a presence, as if his soul was being gently held. He awoke with tears on his face and the scent of musk on his pillow. For years, Qasim chased the meaning of that dream. Scholars told him it was a good sign. Psychologists dismissed it. Friends laughed. But his heart, it knew. And it called him again and again, Medina, leaving everything behind, career, comfort, family. Qasim made his way to the city of the Prophet. It wasn't just Hijra, it was a migration of the soul. Every step he took toward Medina was a heartbeat, every mile a pulse of longing. He arrived with nothing but a small bag, some books, and a heart overflowing with love. He found shelter in a humble room near Masjid Nabawi, offered by an elderly caretaker, Baba Zaid, who had seen many come and go. But Qasim, he stayed, day and night. He sat near the Rawdah, never uttering much. People would walk past, offer salam, but he would only smile faintly. He wasn't here for them. He was here for one man. He had never seen him, but he loved him. One night, after Isha, as the mosque emptied, a soft voice called him from the shadows. "You, Qasim." He turned. An old man stood there, wrapped in a green shawl, his face partially hidden. "I've been watching you. You carry something most don't." Qasim remained silent. The man continued, "Do you want to see what others cannot?" Qasim's heart skipped. "Come with me." That night, he followed the stranger through alleyways of Medina he had never known existed. They arrived at a dimly lit home. Inside, 7 men sat in a circle. Their faces glowed with tranquility. There were no smartphones, no distractions, only silence, a burning oud, and hearts vibrating with dhikr. "We are the lovers of the unseen," said the old man, "and we have gathered every night for 40 years, not to talk, but to remember the one who changed the world." Qasim felt a pull stronger than gravity. "Do you know who we speak of?" Qasim, eyes moist, whispered, "Rasulullah," and the old man smiled. "Then you belong here." Night after night, Qasim joined them, but no names were spoken. Each man had buried his identity in the love of the Prophet. Their dhikr would echo through the walls like a heartbeat, and when silence came, tears would flow, unprovoked, unrestrained. One night, the oldest among them revealed something startling. "There is a hadith," he said, "about those who will love the Prophet deeply without ever seeing him. Their reward will be with him." Qasim trembled. Another man spoke. "But that love will be tested." And it was. 2 weeks later, Qasim woke to find his room broken into. His books were burnt. His Quran was torn. A note left behind said, "Stop pretending you're a lover of someone who died 1,400 years ago." But Qasim smiled. "They think he is dead," he whispered, "but my soul knows he is alive." That night, he returned to the circle with even more fire in his heart. One night, something changed. As dhikr rose and tears fell, the air in the room shifted. The scent of roses filled the space. A wind blew, though the windows were shut. And suddenly, the old man who had brought Qasim fell into sujud, shaking with sobs. I saw him. The others lowered their heads. He was here, right here. They all fell into sajda. Qasim too, but unlike the others, he felt something else, a hand on his shoulder. A warmth no human could offer. He did not look up, but he wept like a child, because his heart told him what his eyes had not seen. He had been in the presence of the Prophet. Soon after, the government issued a notice. All unlicensed religious gatherings were to cease. The home of the lovers of the unseen was raided. The men were arrested. Books were seized. Dhikr beads scattered. Qasim stood alone. He could run, or he could stay. He stayed. They took him in, questioned him, accused him of radicalism. He said nothing. Why won't you speak? They yelled. He smiled. Because I love someone who taught us to be silent when angry, to forgive when wronged. They beat him, but in the silence of his pain, he remembered the Prophet's words. Be patient until you meet me at the Hawd. He whispered, Ya Rasulullah, I am waiting. After a week, they let him go, bruised but not broken. He returned to the mosque, sat again near the Rawdah, and then, one day, as he opened a forgotten drawer in his room, he found a letter, old, sealed with wax. It was addressed to the one who truly loves. He opened it. Inside was a simple Arabic note. Blessed is the one who cries for me without seeing me, for I will intercede for him when none will. Muhammad. There was no signature, no name, but the musk on the letter was the same from his dream. Years passed. Qasim grew older, wiser, softer. One by one, the circle members passed away, some in sajda, some all reciting salawat. He remained the last. One night, he stood in front of the Rawdah and whispered, Ya Rasulullah, my body is tired, but my heart still longs. May I meet you soon? He slept that night peacefully and did not wake. In his hand, a tasbih. On his lips, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. The Imam of Masjid an-Nabawi led his janazah, and in his grave, the scent of musk lingered for days. Years later, a child asked his father near the mosque, who was that man buried there? The father said his name was Qasim. No one knows much about him. The child looked into the distance, eyes wide. But I saw someone place a rose on his grave just now. There's no one there, said the father. But the child insisted. He wore green, and his eyes were full of love.